So a little bit about the origins
Okay.
of Casino,
Okay.
please.
So you would like to start that?
Where do we begin?
That was a big ooh.
I feel like we talked
No.
You don't need to take it back to biblical time.
I know.
Okay,
First thing is recreational clubs. It was danced in recreational clubs all over the country.
Which country?
And Cuba.
Cool.
Of course, Cuban style salsa. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. It's not
Cuban
Casino.
Casino. It's not salsa.
But they called it salsa cubana.
For a long time.
For a long
Still
time.
use the word salsa in Cuba.
Right.
They had to fit into that paradigm in order to sell the music outside of Cuba.
Right.
So they sold their music as salsa because selling it as son
It's
wasn't
not-
marketable.
On
So it was
Wikipedia,
remarkable.
the national music of Cuba says salsa.
Right. But it's really not. It's
Oh my
song.
god.
I
On
know.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, I know.
Right
The
to
international
Wikipedia.
source.
That song is a genre. So, and this is goes
You're
into
very
music.
passionate about this.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is like fire.
Yeah.
I could see it.
We go to
coming from
Cuba.
your eyes.
We go to Cuba every year.
You go to Cuba every year?
Yeah, we go to Cuba every year. Well, she goes more than I do.
I
But
wish I could go.
yeah, you should come. GMU.
Shit,
George
this
Mason
is
University.
gonna be cut out. I cannot go. I'm
Okay.
not going.
So
Casino is the evolution of son dancing.
Okay.
They called it son urbano,
Son
when
urbano.
it was first danced because it was danced contra tiempo, or emphasizing
On
the
the two.
4 and the 8.
4 and the 8, what is here known as 2, in a sense.
So, Casino is not a style or a form of salsa. Casino is a form of son.
Yes.
Yes.
Salsa, mambo, is a form of son.
Yes.
So the origination is the same,
Yes.
son, but they're not directly linked
Yeah.
with each other. But it comes from
And mambo is not really salsa. Salsa is just the marketing word that was used in the 70s.
understood. But I mean,
Yeah.
you know, once
Yes.
it's popularized, then it
Of
becomes.
course, yes.
I think it's no secret.
Yes.
Everyone knows that it was a marketing term that was created.
Yeah, well, not now. I mean, we know because we've done the research, but not everybody. And I think it's always good to be reminded, to remind
Right,
folks
right,
of that. You know what I mean? We know what it is and what it's not, but I don't think the general public knows. They just call it salsa because that's the way that everybody calls it, and you know that's the word. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you guys: the world famous DC Casineros, how y'all dance? What style of casino do y'all dance?
That's a
And where
good
do you get your
question.
most inspiration from? What region of Cuba, or do you do your own kind of mix or fusion?
I think we develop with the time. I mean, it depends on what teacher had. I mean, for example, her first teacher. I mean, we got taught by her. A lot of our
And
casino,
he's Roberto Aguilar from
which was
Havana.
part of. And wasn't you part of Guanabacoa? You also had a teacher from Guanabacoa.
So my first influences were dancers from Havana.
Okay.
And they ranged in age. Some of them were in their early 20s, some of them were older. So there were some of the original Casineros from the 60s.
So it's a very Havana style. It's Havana oriented.
But
More
now,
so than Santiago
now
style.
we work with dancers from Santiago, the Rueda All-Stars. So what we do is we take the most generic style of dancing casino, and then we add influences of rumba, of orisha dances, of
Conga,
hip hop, of conga.
modern
Because
dance.
casino embraces all these popular dances.
Yep. So
We're actually working a little bit more now on preserving the style from the 70s and 80s, which is more of a classic, clean technique, a little less experimental. So right now, more of our routines influence that technique.
Rueda. Explain a little bit about the Rueda.
What do you want to know about the Rueda?
I mean, its formation, why,
Why?
just a little bit. I know you explained it a little bit before. but
Rueda
Sure.
is the modern form of contra dance. So
That's how folks danced back in the day.
Yes.
for-
in a circle,
in
in a
England,
group.
in France, in
In
the
a group.
courts. Yeah,
In the courts.
yeah, in the court dance.
Oh
The
yeah, I can
circles, the
imagine that.
lines.
Yeah. Like country dancing.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So what we were talking about was that everybody in Cuba danced song all the way to the 50s. So, but the casino and the ruedas are just basically an evolution of how people started to dance song into this particular casino deportivos or these ballrooms in Cuba, all over the country. So basically, the choreography changed. Therefore, the moves started to change. The moves started to evolve to make sure that you can change to another partner, to make sure that you did different things in different formations.
And I think people really just wanted to dance together and come together. So they got into a circle. They realized our vocabulary is the same. We know the same moves. Now let's put names to it and do it together and enjoy this party together.
Good.
And there's actually 12 moves. Before everything started, there were 12 moves in a rueda that everybody knew all around Cuba. And after that, I mean, people started forming their own group. They started calling their own moves, and everything started changing.
So that's how the boulder started rolling down the hill.
Basically,
it's all downhill after that. You like that? You like how I said that? That's how we do it. You like that?
I would say it's all para arriba, uphill.
It's all uphill from there.
Para arriba is one of the first moves you do in a rueda, when everyone walks forward, uphill.
Uphill, oh, okay.
Para arriba.
Let's talk a little bit about casino and the partner dance. Because from my understanding, casino is independent of rueda. A lot of people, they mash the two together. It's casino rueda, right? You think of casino rueda, you always think about the circle, but it's a misnomer. It's not always.
Good,
it's not always a group dance, because a lot of people, they might not like the communal dance.
Exactly.
They just want a partner dance.
Right. They want communal, but they don't want it to be in a rueda, or you know what I mean, right? Exactly.
So casino is independent of the rueda. Rueda is just a
Casino
circle.
is simply partner dancing.
Yeah. Casino
And
is.
what evolved after song.
Yeah. Casino is song. It's song by the new song, the modern song. So it's dancing. It's first dance as a partner, but it can be danced in a rueda, choreographically given because of the evolution. But that's all it is. You know what I mean?
Adrian and I made a decision probably 3 years ago to start to promote casino dancing. So we started working more on duets and showing how Cubans dance one-on-one rather than in a circle.
Why was that?
Because everyone associated rueda as the only way to dance casino.
Right. Therefore, for
So
example,
we wanted to show how flashy and how beautiful it could be.
Now I noticed a lot of y'all incorporate rumba, Afro-Cuban rumba, into the casino dance.
Yes.
Now, from my understanding, people are very dogmatic about this. Oh, you want some more?
Yes, they are.
All right, there we go.
All right.
They're very dogmatic about it. You either do it or you don't do it. Right?
Yes.
That's part of the
It
casino.
seems to be polarizing. Some people do it,
Cheers.
and some people don't do it. So what's the reason? Your group
We embrace it.
You embrace it.
Yeah.
Another group's
I like how she said that.
that.
She owned it. She owned it. You see her face? She owned it.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
It's the
So
flavor.
what's the deal? Why would someone not
It's hard
incorporate
to
it?
master. It's a very hard, complex dance form.
So are you
It
saying?
took me at least 8 years to begin to isolate.
So are you saying
and
people don't
do
incorporate it
polyrhythm, 'cause it's
because they're lazy?
difficult.
That's what you're saying, right? That's essentially what she's saying, right? They don't do it because they're lazy. I thought it was more of like a religious or kind of like a traditional.
Well, no, it's different. Yeah. Well, it depends. What kind of Afro-Cuban? Yeah. Well, it depends.
It's not
It's
religious.
not a religious
Well,
Afro-Cuban.
dance.
No
that's
samba?
right.
Rumba is not
Rumba
Afro-Cuban.
is
Yeah.
secular.
Yeah, secular.
Rumba is
So,
secular.
Bacunaos, I don't think we
But
would
the
do that in a religion.
Orisha stuff, that's not.
well, there's a difference. See, that's another topic.
You see that? Oh, holy Lord! I am gonna get you!
So no. So this is what happens. Afro-Cuban dance has a wide range of different segments. We're talking about different tribes in Cuba that you know what I mean that came from Nigeria, so and from different parts of Africa. So we're talking about a bunch of dances. It just happened, but for every religious dance you have in Cuba that happens to be an Afro-Cuban dance, there's also a secular dance to it. Okay, so rumba just happened to be one of those particular secular dances that happen to be very popular in Cuba from a segment, for a particular segment of the population. So, and probably is the most adequate and a lot of times the most popular to be added to casino, okay? Especially in the form of Colombia. Because of the footwork, because of the movement.
Rumba's like a way of life to Cubans.
Exactly.
Every Cubano has been to a rumba. This is like your everyday party.
Right.
So everybody moves.
So rumba also means party.
Grows up with rumba. Yeah, it's a party.
It's a party and it's also a dance.
Yeah.
But it's a specific style of music and dance.
And I know it's a lot deeper than that. I mean, it was a way for the secret societies to preserve. No?
That's Abacuá.
That's Agua.
Abacuá is not a rumba type of rumba.
No, but I mean,
religious.
but that's
religious.
well, there's a little more religious. It's a sect with religious beliefs. But what happens is that is actually a lot of rumba can be traced back to the Abacuá tradition, the clave and the particular instruments for that. But it's not necessarily have to do with rumba. Now, you could do a little bit of Abacuá in Colombia and different dances, but it's not necessarily.
It's very common in Cuba in dance and parties for people to mix secular and religious. You see that all the time.
All the
Even
time.
in religious
And that'll be okay.
ceremonies.
Yes.
Yeah. You'll see movements from popular dance.
But correct me if I'm wrong. There's folks out there that are very dogmatic about this. They're like, no, you cannot add any religious piece
Cubans?
to casino.
Well, what happens is that sometimes the context of how things happen. For example, what happens when things arrive to different countries or to here, the United States or to Europe, folks work with the information that they know. So okay, you see an amazing dancer dancing casino, but then he does Afro-Cuban dance, and so, well, let me learn Afro-Cuban dance, and that's what happened to us in a lot of ways. To me, you know what I mean. Let's dance casino, let's dance Afro-Cuban dance, let's try to mix it up and figure it out. But when a Cuban sees that, he's like, well, you're not mixing it the way we're mixing it. Of course, I don't have the same ingredients that you have in the island. So, for example, in Cuba, for example, there are many people in popular dance that will dance casino without mixing anything Afro-Cuban dance. But there are some that will mix it, but it's a little bit different. Okay.
But who's to say that their mix is correct? Who said that their mix, their style was standard?
You have to be Cuban.
No, you don't have to be. No, you don't have to be
art.
Cuban.
At the end of the day, it's art, right?
It is art.
Let's say I want to do Palo, or like Ochosi to a different beat.
Yeah.
To something that completely wouldn't make sense.
Cubans are very particular about dancing specific moves when the song calls for it.
But who's to say they're right when it's art?
It's their
at the end of the
music,
day,
and it's their dance.
it's the music of the world,
True.
Right.
True. Yes.
There's no owner of art. Who owns
But
art
the
and who
dance
owns
and
music?
The music evolved together.
Understood.
In relation to each other. So
It originated from somewhere, but no one's an owner. This is for everyone to enjoy, right?
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's important to know.
Understood.
You're doing it. No one give it credit.
Yes, but it's important. It's also important.
Even
I would have to
Cubans
say.
play with it though. I mean, the modern dance world totally breaks tradition.
Right.
Uses folkloric music and creates new movement to it.
Yeah. So I mean, yes,
Except
there's
in
a, and I think it is also accepted that part, but there's certain rules. I mean, that when I'm in Cuba, I learned. I'm like, oh, okay, you don't break that rule. You know, there's different, and where you're just still free. You're allowed to do many things, but there are particular things that are okay. This is what this means. For example, we do. I mean, one choreography we were doing a move for a particular orisha. But we realized that okay, a lot of some of the Cuban teachers pull us aside and say, you don't really do that in a group. That step
you don't do individually. You only do it
in a group because of this, and there's. We're
very
like,
restrictive.
Wow, that's very interesting.
I think it's as well though because the government after the revolution institutionalized these dance forms. So the government created rules about how the dance should look, how it's preserved.
That's the Cuban government, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you take your direction from Cuba, basically the groups here. Is that what you're saying? So you take
Well,
their-
I mean, our
Try to
understanding.
honor
Yeah, so
the
we're
way
trying to honor
Cubans
it.
do it.
Yeah. We try to maintain a little bit of that essence. You know what I mean? For us, it's important that if, for example, for me, so if I always think of a young person from Cuba that in his 20s, and he sees us dance and say, wow, They dance in casino, like they dance in Cuba.
So what are some different figures at Casino?
There are certain figures from danzón and son that you find in casino, where maybe you're in the closed position with your partner and you walk the lady around the room.
Promenades.
Yes, promenades, paseos, taking her for a stroll on the dance floor, showing her off to the rest of the dancers in the room.
I love how she said it.
That's what paseo literally translates to. Stroll.
So you see
And a lot of times that would be the time in danzón when the woman would fan herself.
That's so sexy to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
That old school kind of
it is.
classic, that's kind of sexy to me. More so than fishnet stocking.
Fishnets.
I mean,
It's too obvious, yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, the classical, it's very something about that is very sensual. There's more to the imagination.
Well, it was at the end of the day, it's a social dance. So I mean, it was about a man and a woman trying to get with each other. So all those aspects. So the close position here is about me trying to talk in her ear about, hey, what's going on, what we're gonna do later on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's
You know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
talking
It's about, you know what I mean? The me traveling her around, showing her around is, look how beautiful you are. I'm gonna make you travel around so everybody can see you.
And she
I
gets
show
to
you
exhibit her grace,
grace
her
and
poise.
her pose.
Exhibición.
Exhibición, yes.
And that's even a move.
Exhibe.
Yes. Exhibe.
Exhibe.
Exactly. Exhibela. Very good.
See, I remember this stuff.
Yes.
So you demonstrate some of this in your partner work.
All
Well,
of these figures
they're
show
not
up
really-
when
yeah.
you're dancing casino.
All those figures show up. I mean, and they're not really new. They are way, way back. It's just that the interpretation might be new, and how we're doing it with in our bodies is might be new, but it's basically figures that have been. It's part of the basic language of casino, of song, in a sense.
And it's called desplazamiento,
This.
or displacing yourself,
Displacing,
traveling
traveling.
through the space.
Traveling through the space.
So in anything in casino, a lot of times in Cuba you say camina, camina, which is travel, travel, travel. When you're in a class, because they want you to travel, literally, all around the room, wherever they want you to take you.
It's very interesting how the dance is developed. Especially in Mambo, we try to make things as tight as possible. Out of necessity, because when you're dancing in a club, you only have so much space.
Right, right. Well,
These dances were born in dance halls. They were big, they were spacious. People had room
Right.
to walk.
yep. When there was no room, then you go back to close position, and then you.
And that's when you bring the sexy out.
Yes, yes. But then when it's big, then you dance big. You travel all around.
Understood. Excellent.
Oye, chuta palmadas. Oye, chufla, cambia. Oye, cánsate. Suavea. Roletazo. Dame. Sombrero, tomamos. Enchufla, cambia.
Dale cintura, dale cintura,
Dame.
dale cintura pura.
Asila. El uno, promenade.
1, 2, 3. Sigue. Atención que ya llegó la candela. Oye, ponte la pila que si no te queda.
Oye, por dentro y por fuera.
Timba, timba, timba. Pa' Puerto Rico, Nueva York, Venezuela. ¡Vamos! Claro que sí.
Transition.
Sacude, sacude, sacúdete.
5, 6, 7, 8.
How's that?
Excellent.